still watching Morning Cafe on TV 47. We continue looking at the results of the by-elections of November 27th. That is last week. It's exactly 1 week after those events. And I'm still here with Wilson Sossion, Zacharia Baraza, and Dr. Peter Mbai. But Baraza, okay, fine. Then the United Opposition were very confident. A lot of things happened. You may blame and you try to list the things that you felt went wrong. But it's only 19 months to 2027. If at all the situation remains the same, should we expect you to come back after the general elections of 2027 to complain, or are you confident that things will be different or will be countered in a different manner come that time?
You see, the reason why they were able to succeed is because, you see, we had only like in Western Kenya, we had only one serious by-election. So they had to put all state machineries in that constituency. But come 2027, we'll be having election all over. They may not be able to manage. The reason being, like, look at how many state officers were in Malava. What were they doing? They were all campaigning. In 2027, every state officer will be in his own area campaigning. They may not be able to do that. Two, we are hoping that IEBC should be able to take note of what happened. Because, you see, we cannot say that you are in charge of an election while some other people are taking charge. If you look at the ELOG report, they're saying IEBC was not in charge of the election. They were not in charge of the polling centers. The people in charge of the polling centers were the goons and the Kenya Kwanza government. So what we are saying is that we need to put some reform on IEBC. Because without those reforms, we'll still go back to the same thing. We are trying to avoid a situation whereby after election, the country is divided in the middle. Because if you look at what happened in Bere, after rigging, what was the vote difference? About only 400. In Malava, without our agents being kicked out, the only difference was 300. Because we were sure we would win by more than 70%. So they don't have a win. In paper, they say they have won. But in the hearts of people of Malava, they know that the election was taken away from them. And they're saying, look, let's wait for 2027. We'll see what's going to happen. So what I'm trying to say is that I would like IEBC to be in charge. We would like to do some reforms, because whatever happened in Malava, whatever happened in Bere, should be a lesson to the country. It should not be a lesson to the opposition. It should not be a lesson to the government. It should be a lesson to the country. We need now to come together and say, look, what went wrong? How can we improve on this if we are looking for democracy? But you see, with the level of goonism that is there, if we repeat the same thing, we shall go the Tanzania way. That will happen. Because why allow goons to take charge of a serious excess in the presence of the media? But like in Malava, we had 14 vehicles, boxes, carrying goons, being supervised by Farouk Kibet, moving from one polling center to another. When they find an agent, then they kick him out. And that is impunity of the highest order. Why should we allow it to happen? If we allow it to happen, then let's prepare ourselves for 2027. Because one angel will get tired. Because why should you vote? Then your vote doesn't matter. Your vote should matter. You should walk into a polling center confident that the government is going to provide security. You should walk into a polling center knowing very well that this vote, IEB is going to take care of my vote. But if you allow other people to take charge of the very serious excess like voting in a by-election, then what will happen during the election? Two, a question is, why should the government spend state resources? Because, you know, there's a law that's saying that we should not allow government officials to campaign. Look at what happened in Kapchai. Wetangula was campaigning. He's the Speaker of the National Assembly. He should be a referee. He should be a neutral person. Look at Mbere. We had all the CSS campaigning. What does the law talk about it? What is going to happen? Are we going to see any change in that? Because if we don't do that, we're not going to have a free and fair election.
Hence my question to Dr. Mbai. Now, you've had a week to consider and look at